Welcome to the Great Plains Gravel Cup, powered by the SufferSooner podcast. If you're into riding gravel or just love a good challenge, you're in the right place. This is where we bring you all the gritty details from the world of gravel racing across Kansas, Missouri, and Nebraska. We'll be covering 6 premier events, including Flint Hills, Open Range, Mule Skinner, Rock Ridge, Solstice, and Pony Express. All gravel, all awesome. Each episode will bring you stories from the leaders, race directors, first-timers, and some truly epic moments from these events. So buckle up and join us as we explore the heart of the gravel world. One race at a time. All right, welcome to the Great Plains Gravel Cup. We are lucky enough to have one of our super fans, Courtney, with us today. Yeah, it's super great to have you on. You are... Well, first off, I'm going to have to say amazing, because not only are you winning this Gravel Cup after 5 races, you're winning it in 2 places. You're winning it overall and in the Masters division, which is just insane.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So, I'm just, I tip my cap. It's just amazing. We've ridden with you before. And I've had the luxury of riding with you in a couple of these races. You're a fierce competitor, and we just want to know, how did you get into bike racing? Have you always been bike racing, or are you new to it, or
new to it?
Well,
first year,
and just picked it up, and you were like, "Hey, guess what, guys? I just decided I'd do this."
Yeah, long time listener, first time rider.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for all that. No, I am not a long time bike racer. Kind of fairly new, I guess. So really, truly have been racing gravel for a couple of years now. And then the 2 years before that, I was a pandemic-born rider who was kicked out of spin class because, that
couldn't have those.
You broke too many bikes.
Yeah. Couldn't have those. Couldn't put the plastic walls
like
up around you.
I know. It's like, sorry, Courtney, you're not invited back. You destroyed all of our bikes. You're putting out too much power.
Yep. You're crushing it.
I don't know about that. I was actually, I'm a runner, actually. That's really my first love. So I've always loved competing in running races, whether it's, I don't actually love marathon distance, but I've done half marathon and 5K and 10K, and was really using spin class for cross training.
Yeah.
And my buddy, Megan Elston, who is a contender in the single speed category, had been trying to talk me into riding a gravel bike, and I just didn't get it. I didn't get what that was, like a lot of people. I thought there was mountain biking and there was road bikes, and I didn't get the in-between. So it was always a hard no. And then the pandemic hit, and I didn't have cycle class to cross train. And she said, I guess you're going to borrow my old gravel bike. So that's how it happened. And that was the 1st of April. And I had my own gravel bike by the end of April. So
wow. So you went out and rode once, and you're like, hey,
yep, this is it.
I like this.
For sure. Yeah. And and I leisurely rode, still ran a ton, but leisurely rode the rail to trail almost daily for a year. And then I started really catching on to the gravel community, and the same friend, Megan, when here at Flint Hills Gravel, she said, I know you like to go all in, and I don't know why you're messing around. Like, you need to race, Courtney. And I said, oh, really? Okay, I think I'm going to do that. So I did, with her encouragement, and I surprised myself a little bit. So I just kind of kept at it, and it's working so far. So.
Yeah. No, you're doing great. I mean, we've seen, I see it a lot in triathlon and all that other stuff, in cycling too. Like, some of the best cyclists were really good, proficient runners before they moved into cycling. Yeah. So I can only imagine, you're probably a way better runner than I I am. So, which is not hard.
I was going to say that, like, wow,
But,
really high bar there.
But I imagine, did you run in high school and college, or did you just run because you're like, oh, that was just something to do? Yeah.
No, I growing up, I did competitive tennis, and then I went to college, and I missed sport, and I took up running in college.
Yeah.
So, and then I just kind of hooked up with a group that kind of a run club, and so, did intermittently throughout my adult life have gotten into running.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, obviously tennis, you did your share of running for conditioning, I'm sure, for that. And but I think you're right, Travis. I mean, I'd give you a hard time about your running, but let's just be honest. Both of us are pretty slow, so
we get it done.
One of you
we get it done
too, right? Isn't it?
What's
one
that?
who really has a kind of a love-hate relationship with running.
I hate it.
I was to say, yeah, I
hate it, but I still do it because I hate it so much. I gotta figure out why I don't like it so much.
There's and there's also the suffering aspect of it. So
Yes.
But I mean, that's exactly right. We do see that a lot with people who are good runners. Like it seems to translate really well to the bike. I wish it went the other way. I wish being a good cyclist translated to being a very good runner, but I don't think it does.
That would be really nice.
We've talked about it on the podcast a few times. Like we've seen where when we do running blocks as cross training in the off season, that we come in a lot stronger in the spring, just because of the muscular strength and the endurance that you build. So I'm sure there's something to that. Somebody a lot smarter than I am with the physiology degree could probably explain why that's real, but it's it's no surprise at all that you're a very good runner, and that turns into being a very good cyclist as well. And of course, you've got a pretty good competitive spirit, so that always helps.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I love to compete. I love that part of it. I love the training a lot. I like the prescribed workouts.
Yep.
So it makes your 3-hour ride go by just like that, and you really see the results pretty quickly, I feel like. But I like competing even more. More in gravel racing than I do in running. I mean, I love to run, and I'm trying to figure out that balance, because I'll tell you, those back-to-back weekends of Solstice and Rock Ridge, I felt like I was speeding home to put on my run shoes. I couldn't wait to run. And so I'm going to be fitting a lot more of that in as we look into the fall too. But
yeah, this darn gravel cup just keeps getting in the way of running.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever said that before, where I was like, you know what, I want to hurry home so I can
It's usually the other way around.
I'm I want to hurry and finish this run so I can go ride my bike.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is a little crazy. I like all the movement. I really do actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
So,
all right, I have to ask every runner this. Have you ever had the runner's high? Or is it just the myth that you guys keep telling us that it exists?
Oh, it exists. It exists.
Geez.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
You've never had that?
No. I don't think, the thing is I don't think you guys have been high like before.
I'm kind of wondering. Yeah. Are we talking about the same thing?
Yeah, are we talking the same thing here? Because I have ran a lot. And nothing.
How close to death do you have to be before you get that high?
How close do you have to, or is it like elation? I mean, we had it on the podcast, when we came back from Mesa Half Marathon. I thought I had the runner's high, but I think it was the cold medicine that was kicking in and stuff. So
it's only one of those little cups, Travis. You're not supposed to take.
I just keep sipping until I feel better.
I thought that was a goo in your pocket. You were just pulling out the cough medicine.
Pulling out the Dayquil and just going after
This
it.
has some calories in it.
Yeah. No, I'm sure it exists. I've had many a days on the bike where I feel like there's no chain. It's just you put out effort and it just feels amazing. So I can only imagine that maybe
is that what the runner's high is like? It just feels amazing. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think you reach, for everyone it's different. You reach a certain mileage for me, and then I just feel like I could just go on and on and on and on.
Okay.
And I don't know. I like the meditative part. I could get real dorky. And
no, it's good.
No,
I mean,
hey, I like I say, I'm very curious, and I don't think it exists, but I'm gonna keep searching for it. That's why I keep running.
Keep looking and let me know, because it's there.
We joke about it a lot, but I mean, all kidding aside, I mean, if it's real, I mean, and you find that state, oh my gosh, latch onto it, hold on to it. It's awesome. So
yeah,
I mean, I've felt that way when I'm done. Like, where it's like the endorphins kick in and you're like, all right, I'm glad that's over.
That's pretty much, I think, when I've had it, but not running when I am running.
That's all right.
So, but no, so let's talk about, so you came into cycling from COVID, and then you're like, I'm going to do this gravel thing. And that's, and you're highly competitive. And then you started just taking this whole thing by storm. I mean, I saw you and Kelly at Open Range.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then, I rode with you and just not really knowing anything. And then the next thing I see, you're a fan of the podcast, and then you're just tearing my legs off at the next event. So.
Well, because it was solstice, right? That
No. So that was like 2 years ago when.
Oh, you're saying a few years ago.
Yeah, a few years ago, and then the next time I saw you again, you were just tearing it up.
Yeah.
So, So I just it just looks like you just took to it like a duck to water, really.
Yeah. It felt. I mean, I've always felt pretty good on the bike, and. Yeah, I mean, I remember that a couple years ago, Open Range. That was a blast. 2 years ago was the first time I had done that distance, and I really fell in love with that course and that distance, and kind of can connect with a lot of the things that you all have said about it, for sure.
Yeah.
Sad that we didn't get what we had 2 years ago on that course this year, but also that's probably the most memorable race so far in the Cup for me. Because this year at Open Range, that was pure and utter chaos for the entire, it was full gas the entire time.
It was
I couldn't see. Yep. I never drafted in rain like that. I've never actually put on a raincoat because it's raining. I'm going to ride with a rain jacket on. I've packed a rain jacket and then put it on to get home. But I never done that on purpose. So
you're like, we're actively going out in this. Yeah, this is no, and then and then they're like, oh my gosh, and we're gonna race hard. Right? Oh my gosh.
yes. So it was memorable, but I don't know. Full gas. Things changed last year. I decided that I knew there was a science to getting faster and getting stronger. But I didn't understand any of it, and I really wanted and craved an understanding of it, but knew I needed help doing that. And so I hired a coach for the first time ever. Yeah. And really just kind of it clicked. And he's a runner and a gravel racer. And so that really helped me just understand why recovery is so important, and why doing the other stuff, the intervals and things like that, and spacing that out. And and it's just I've continued on that trajectory a little bit, doing a little bit on my own. I have a person that's supporting me and helping me with workouts now, but anyway, so I love it. Solstice was a first race for me in the Cup. First race period, but then it's also obviously part of the Cup. And that I felt great. That was probably my best outcome, obviously, because I won that one too, but that was a good race for me. And just physically felt the strongest I felt in any of the races. So the heat was all right. That crosswind was terrifying, but the name of the game is eating and drinking. Yep. And as long as you could do that with all that wind, and you've got what it takes to get to the finish line, you're golden. But I didn't get behind in the eating, and I think that proved to be really helpful. So.
That seems to be one of the hardest things for folks as they get into cycling is the nutrition aspect of it, and just the amount of calories you have to put down. How much did you take from running to how much did that help you? Because I mean, obviously in running you have to
Zero.
stay nourished, but yeah. So you
Zero.
just yeah.
I think it's starkly different than running. I vividly remember riding out to the zoo and back here in Wichita, and it was a 20-mile ride. And I called up Megan, the gal who got me into this thing, and I said, I like had the worst cramps. I don't understand. Like I was drinking, and I mean, it was hot out, but I didn't understand electrolytes and carbohydrates and
Right.
that eating a protein bar while you're on the bike probably isn't the best thing. And, that sugar is gummy bears
Yeah.
and things like that.
Yeah.
And, I remember that. And I almost argued with her, like, that doesn't make any sense to eat
Yeah.
that much. I just, rode 20 miles. So, yeah, I think
I feel like
that's,
I'm eating out of a trash can. Is this right?
Is this right?
Should I
I'm
be
supposed
doing
to
this?
eat all the candy? Like all of it? Yeah, no. I do. I'm a coach, and I do coach a couple of women, and I think the hardest part for them too is to get over, or not to get over, but to acknowledge the fact that like we're trying to fuel the work that you're doing, and like you have to eat. It sounds horrible, but we're like, yeah, you have to eat this candy because it's
yeah,
made to just go straight into your bloodstream. Like that's what it's made for. I'm not saying eat it when you're sitting on the couch. I'm saying eat it while you're riding the bike.
yeah,
Yeah, that stuff
yeah.
packs an unnatural amount of sugar and
Yeah.
carbs into a small
Because it's,
package.
Yes.
yeah, it's very counterintuitive because, a
Yeah.
lot of people get into cycling. Maybe they want to, lose weight, and
Yes.
one of
That's
the
why I
ways
got
to
into
lose
it.
weight is not gorging on sugar off the bike, but it's exactly what you do on the bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, aside from the eating and drinking side of it, how long did you say? When did you hire a coach? Was that in the last year? Is that when it was? Last couple
It
of years?
was a year ago. Well, actually, it was November 2023. It was the end of the
Okay.
year,
Yeah.
2023. So it was for my 2024 season, and
Okay.
my A race was Unbound 200, and then Gravel Worlds double.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so those are really my goals.
Just stepping into the long distance.
No
You're like,
kidding.
screw all these short races. 20 miles. Who needs that?
Yeah, right?
I'm going
Yeah.
200.
You go to the zoo. I'll go to the zoo in Nebraska.
Yeah. go to the zoo in Kansas City and come back.
Right.
Yeah.
What's something that you've learned just in that time since you hired a coach? What's something you've learned that if you could go back and tell your beginner self, what would be the advice you would give?
A recovery day truly means a recovery day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I've been find that more and more true. Like just the recovery days are way more important than the work
But Travis,
days.
I'm going to lose all the fitness I've been working. Oh, wait, that's not true. That's
No.
I don't lose it all overnight by.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
yeah.
Yes. So the
I mean, that's the
trusting
good
them.
thing is,
Yeah.
and actually, I have to admit, the coach that I'm working with now has really driven that home even more, because he stays on me about it. He told me, I don't know, the watts, I think was like 100 watts or something, and I needed to do that for like 3 hours. Okay, I mean, I'm a small person, so 100 watts, it's like, I mean, it's different for
Yeah.
everyone, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, I just thought, 80 to 100 watts for 3 hours, that just sounds awful. I'd rather do a VO2 max interval, like, give me something here.
Yeah.
But there is just a science to it that I think really, really, I get now. I just did one of my very first actual recovery runs ever. I was it was a real slow run. It's very hard to run a lot slower pace. You all probably know this than what you're used to running.
Yeah.
But I did it, and I was so proud. So sometimes those recoveries are a lot harder than the actual workouts.
Yeah. When we were both doing Ironman training, we were trying to figure out where this mythical recovery run was at, because it never felt like a recovery. It always felt like more work.
It started out like, there's the 5 minutes of warm up that usually feels like pain. Then you get into like a little kind of recovery jog, and then usually about 30 minutes before the end you're just like, okay, I'm just like done. I can't do this anymore. I can't go anymore.
But it is really important. I think, well, I'll just go back to that, because one of the things we also learned is a good recovery spin after a long run was worth its weight in gold. Like, that was amazing, because it just flushes the legs out so much. I mean, just the recovery on the muscle side for non-runners, at least, it was super, super helpful. It just made it feel like you could come back the next day and do that hard interval session if you needed to, if that was on the schedule. So.
Yeah, so we were talking about nutrition and stuff. Do you remember how many, just for solstice, how many grams per hour were you trying to eat, or how many calories were you trying to eat?
350 calories, 400.
Yeah, and
90.
to give you guys retrospect or perspective, Courtney's like half of my size.
That's right.
She is. I am 6'1", 220 pounds.
Yeah.
It makes your wheel real nice.
Yeah. So
like,
I am the wind block for most of the peloton. But yeah, and she's doing, you said 350 to 400, so she's doing about another extra, I would say, 50 to 100 calories more than what I eat an hour. And I can't stomach like enough. I can do 400 if it's cool, but if it's hot, I can only do 300.
It's so hard. It's so hard. And this
I think that is
season,
I think that is the hardest thing on the when you get to bike racing. Like, they're like, oh, is the effort's hard? I'm like, no, it's the fact that I'm trying to eat like 400. You try to eat 400 calories an hour and put out effort. Like, that's the hard part. So,
although I jokingly was watching the tour. I don't know if I assume maybe.
No, we love it.
We love it.
And I'm thinking my biggest problem is eating on the bike, and you see them doing crazy things, going the speeds they are, like changing out shoes. Somebody took their shoe off and gave it to the car to fix the cleat as they're cruising along, and I can really
crazy?
eat, so it could be worse.
Yeah, for sure. But it's interesting, because you're right, Travis. I mean, we've talked a lot about trying to target even that 300 calories an hour, because there's a lot of folks out there that don't. You're always in a deficit on the bike. You'll never be able to eat enough.
You can not physically stomach enough food to match the amount of power that you're putting out.
It starts from minute one. Yep. And that if there's one thing I've personally learned throughout this whole gravel cup is because of the paces we're riding at, and we've been known to maybe go out a little too hard from time to time, so that that's okay, just a little bit,
not much.
But
get it.
Yeah, right. But we joked about the nutrition fumble that I had at Flint Hills Adventure Ride, and throughout the year I've been upping every hour the number of carbs that I try to take in, and I tried to hit 400 over Rock Ridge, and that was rough. I mean, it does, and you're right, Courtney. So like, put that in perspective too. 400 calories an hour over the course of a 4-hour ride, 5-hour ride. You're talking almost 2,000 calories. You're shoveling in. Like, what's your, like, just on a normal training day, what's your normal sort of daily calorie total, would you say?
Oh, see, so I'm kind of bad at that. I don't know. I count my protein more because,
good call.
Yeah, than anything. And then I just really eat a lot of carbohydrates throughout the day. My goal is really the protein, because I'm vegan, and so I really try to load up throughout the day.
Yeah. So is there a certain amount of protein macro that you're trying to hit, or, I mean, I know it's not perfect all the time. Like, we can't be like robots.
Right.
Like
I wish,
but is there a certain number that you aim for every day, or does it change?
Yeah. So I mean, I aim for 120. 100 is kind of standard. I know I get that, but I have to work um, just like anybody, work really
Yeah,
hard. But I really try to give extra focus on that. Just um, sometimes it's a little more of a challenge for me because this world isn't used to the way I eat because I eat vegan.
sure.
So eating
Yeah.
Yeah.
out,
Yep.
things like that, I have to do tons of meal prepping. I show up at races usually with all my little Tupperwares of food and to make sure there's a
Y-
microwave where I'm going. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I thought about you because I think most of the post race meals have been like barbecue
Are
pork,
all are all barbecue.
and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, poor Courtney, she's got to be starving over
Yeah.
there. But I mean, I'm sure you're probably used to it on some level because like like you said, you kind of pack your own stuff,
yeah,
but at the same time, it's like it probably didn't take very many races where you're like, hey, you know what? I'm starving after this thing. I
Yeah.
gotta have something to eat. Well, no matter what your diet choices are, it's like you gotta have
Right.
something to eat.
yeah,
Not every
yeah,
race provides post race meal, but
yeah.
yeah, it is something I
I
noticed. I was like,
Yeah, I usually have loaded up a protein shake and my other recovery thing that I drink
yeah. So you
immediately
have a regimen.
following,
Yeah.
so that I have that, and then yeah, sometimes it's
So
challenging. And a
so
beer.
yeah, and a beer. You gotta have the celebratory beer.
Yeah,
That's
it's what you do. I
right.
mean, why do all this and suffer this much just to not
I,
drink the beer? Like,
yeah.
no, I'm good. I'm
Right.
racing right now.
Yeah, and I asked about like daily calorie just to try to put things into perspective for folks because it's like you're eating a day's worth of food typically in a few hours when you're on the bike. It's
Yeah.
just ridiculous amounts, and it's again kind of coming back to the whole thing where I think that's one of the hardest things for folks to learn as you're kind
Yeah,
of getting into this, how much energy it takes to perform at the level that somebody like yourself is performing at. Your body just can't do that unless you're fueling it, and you're fueling. And I want to talk a little bit about your diet because I mean, I assume then you would agree, and tell me if you don't, but you would agree like you eat to fuel your workouts, and like I
yeah.
think your diet choices are very much centered around that. Like you
Mhm.
mentioned, trying to keep the carbs and everything going, but tell me like a little bit like what's the day in the life of Courtney's diet look like because you mentioned you're vegan and we know of several riders that are vegan and I can
Yeah,
only imagine how hard it is to hit protein and carb sources like and
yeah,
still like have variety. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, tofu I love.
Yeah.
High protein, organic tofu is always in my fridge, and I can pretty much eat that for every meal. I love it. It's loaded in protein. It's great for you, I think. And you can scramble it. You can make it like chicken. I mean, I literally fillet a square and season it just like somebody would season chicken
Wow.
Yeah.
on a grill. It's a delicious. My 16-year-old son loves it. He's stopped making me make him chicken, actually. He's told
Wow.
me the other day, not too long ago, he's like, I'll just eat what you eat. That looks good. So,
Yeah.
but I usually have I eat a ton. I usually have two breakfasts. So I'll have some protein waffles with peanut butter and some berries on it with syrup.
Mm.
And then usually some kind of protein smoothie, pea protein with brown rice is what I use, and with some vegan yogurt in there, cashew yogurt and oat milk and some
Yeah.
berries, and then um, I usually have some kind of like tofu scramble. I want something savory, and like 2 hours later, especially if I had a hard effort the day before, I'm
Yeah.
just starving. So I'll pack to work like some kind of tofu wrap in a burrito, and I usually add beans to that and onions and turmeric, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's
The,
loaded with all the good stuff. Throw in some rice, and then for dinner, I usually have there's snacks in between all that, and then dinner there's always like a bunch of rice or potatoes or sweet potatoes or something like that with some kind of stir fried, lots of veggies and
yeah.
tofu.
Yeah, this was the wrong question to ask. I'm starving now.
Yeah, now thanks, Courtney. I'm like,
I
yeah,
know where to go get good food now.
yeah.
I'm in
Now
Wichita.
I'm like, yeah,
So.
yeah. No, I mean,
Um,
I think that's great because it just kind of shows too, like, if you got into cycling to think, oh, I'm going to lose weight because I'm just going to ride my bike and then I'm not going to eat.
Right.
Like, no, it's like I have to eat so I can ride my bike and lose the weight and be healthy and do all this stuff. Like you can't just be like, nope, no food. I want to lose weight. I can,
Yep.
Yeah.
And selfishly, like this is a topic that's important for me right now because, as Travis and I talked about like on the last episode, like for us, power to weight ratio is not in our favor. Like we got the power side of the equation, but the weight side doesn't really work out so well sometimes. And so like this is the time of year we're getting ready to go into the time of year where it's like time to address those types of things. And so I'm always looking for like different ideas and things that you can do. Because you're right, like you can't continue to do the workouts if you don't fuel your body. And so Travis, I'm glad you said what you did because like I know when I got into cycling because I did want to lose weight. And did I lose weight? Of course I did. But just like everything else, you kind of hit a plateau, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've lost tons of weight, and I've been as low as 200 pounds. But like then again, if you eat like you're fueling the workouts, but then you don't do the workouts, then
it's a bad combination.
Then it's a slippery slope.
Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is like, you can eat like terribly too and be vegan. So it doesn't equal
that's true. Yeah.
Healthy. I mean, so I love whole foods, so that's in my favor. So I eat a lot of things that are grown straight out of the ground and not processed. I try to, but I mean, the biggest thing that I focus on is I'm always eating a lot of carbs, and then I really try to focus on counting my protein throughout the day, every day.
And I think what's really important is it's not empty carbs that you're eating, which is the difference. Because when you say you eat a lot of carbs, what I hear is you eat a lot of healthy carbs. When I say I eat a lot of carbs, it's like a chocolate chip cookie that's been like homemade with the real butter. Yeah. And it's got a lot of sugar in it. And so, it's just like, so I think it's really important because
carbs are apples too.
Right. Yep. Yeah. And that sounds good. So, but I think that's really, I mean, it just goes a long way. I wanted to touch on that a little bit because I know it's something you're really diligent about, and it's just awesome to see. Like, it's just awesome to see. Thanks. So,
yeah, and I mean it's paying off because it's
your performance is out of control.
Yeah, the performance, the recovery, the
it's not by accident.
Yeah, it's not by accident. You're like you're doing all the right things and you're putting the right pieces in place so that you can have success because. A lot of times you see athletes like, oh, they do really good, and then they kind of fizzle out, and then they didn't work on their diet, or they didn't work on doing interval works, or they're not doing recovery very well. And it's like it seems like you're very diligent about making sure that you're trying to nobody's perfect, but you're trying your best to make sure that everything is getting checked off in the right spot. So
So, all right. So I want to move us in a little bit to the gravel cup because there's one race left. Yeah. And so Travis, you said earlier it's hard, it's mind boggling, but Courtney, you're at the top of 2 leaderboards for the gravel cup. Yeah. So you've got a really big race coming up here in what will be a few short weeks away. Yeah. And I'm sure you've probably worked out some of the scenarios, and we don't have to get into all those scenarios, but maybe tell us a little bit about how do you see this shaping up? Like Pony Express is going to be a really, really important race. So kind of what's going into the prep without giving away all the secrets.
Yeah, I truly don't have any secrets. I wish I did, because then I'd just execute that and call it good and check it off and have a beer. But I don't know. There's a lot of unknowns first off going into it. The thing that I do know is that I'm going to put in the effort to prepare for it, to try to get stronger and faster and win it. So that's my plan. That's my goal. I'd like to hang on to the yellow jersey. And but it's 120 miles.
Yeah.
It's not, a 100 miles or under race distance, which is what most of these have been. And so that'll be a little bit more challenging. I don't really know the course up there. It'll be a new one for me. But yeah, so I mean, I have some pretty strong peers that are out for the yellow jersey too, though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll see what kind of health Hannah's in for this last one. She is registered, of course, but
Yeah.
she's been registered since February or something. So she's hit a few bumps in the road, and of course, I hope that she recovers from her back injury. But more than anything, I want her to come out so that we can actually race, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's just more fun that way, to have everyone out there that's in this cup. So Paulina, man, she was on fire that last race.
That's
We were
right.
just
She
cat and mouse
passed
in
me. Yeah, she passed me like freight train. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
the-
Yeah.
This
That
was
Does
at one
did
point said, "You've got this hill," and I was like, thinking that maybe she wasn't gonna be able to keep up on the climb. And I looked at her like, "Are you nuts? You seem to be doing
yeah.
pretty darn good." And I stopped at the water stop, and there she went. And I eventually caught her, and we would have actually had a sprint finish, the two of us, but she took her wrong dang turn. It killed
Oh,
me. Like, she
yeah.
went that way and I went this
yeah.
way, and I don't know if you saw her times, but she was really strong. So just I don't know. I assume that all the ladies are going to be there that have been competing in the cup, but we'll see who shows
Yeah.
up. There's always some extras. Hannah Tell was out there at the last Rock Ridge, and about 15 miles in, I asked Paulina, "Who's the girl in the front?" And she said, "I didn't see anybody else." And I said, "Oh yeah, there's somebody up there. I saw her." And I described her, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, it's Hannah." So she knew exactly who she was. She said she's a real strong
Yeah.
Yeah.
rider. I guess she's a mountain bike racer.
Yep.
So we had Abby Burke up at Solstice that was competing, and um, she's a strong rider too. I wish she competed in the whole cup. But anyway,
Yeah.
so we'll see.
Did what
Anyone's
did
guess, but I plan to win it.
Yeah. So how does this
Oh,
stack up? Like what were you expecting when you came into the gravel cup? So Flint Hills gravel, like rewind us to that. Like what was your anticipation and what were your goals for the cup as a whole?
well, my goal was Unbound 200,
Yeah.
actually. And then I scrapped that because this cup, and I didn't want to do 200. And so this cup was my excuse for 200. I'm like, I just don't want to
Smart
do that
move.
again. That sounds
Yeah.
terrible. So I'm
Yep.
going to do this cup, truthfully. And I was really not fully invested at Foothills Gravel. I really was just going to kind of take one race at a time. My peers laughed at me though because they know how I am. I'm very competitive, so they
once that
probably
once
knew
that
that I'd
plate
be
number
in
shows
it.
up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you pin that bib
So
number on.
It's all
yeah, well, yeah. Foothills was an interesting race for me. I had a little bit of imposter syndrome going on there.
Hmm.
I lined up and I just thought I saw, I was with the group, Hannah and Trisha, and I'm not sure if Paulina was in front of me there or not, but those climbs were really killing me, and they were blasting through them. And you make decisions when you're out there racing, and I was really worried about
yeah.
blowing up my legs too soon. And I just it was early in the season. Your bike handling is a little bit, not to par or where you want it to be. And so anyway, I remember consciously making that decision to pull off of that group. And then I just thought, afterwards, I said something to a few people that I ride with, and I said I just couldn't hang with them, and they looked at me and they said, "But you can, and we're going to figure
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
out." And so I've had a little bit of people trying to pump me up and tell me that, you can do this. And so that was really helpful to go into open range and came
So, so
out.
you've been so you've been building this up pretty much the whole year then, it sounds like. Like this
Yeah.
has just been like just constant. Every race you're learning something, you're tweaking something, you're making the adjustment. Yeah. Building
Yeah.
confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm a sponge. I don't really know bike racing. I mean, honestly, when we were at open range, here's the deal. I was so excited to listen to what your breakdown was because I didn't really even know what happened at the end of the race. I didn't know what to do when Hannah was on my wheel and I was on her. I just knew I didn't want to let her go. She was
Yep.
probably going to attack, but I didn't have the skills to anticipate what was going to come next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still don't, I'm still learning. So I just am a sponge. I ask. I'm by no means. I love riding a bike and I can do it, but I don't know all the tactics and the
Mm.
strategies. I just go hard.
Yeah.
And so I've been asking my friends around here who have been doing this for years, like, tell me, what when we're cornering, what should I look for? And it's fun. It's really fun to learn it and then go and apply it and then build it. Like you said, there's this build up. And
Yeah.
each
Yeah.
race I've gotten stronger and it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that I think that's the other part that people don't understand too is like bike racing is just more than just riding hard.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an aspect of it, but there's all these moves of like who you're watching, what's the group doing, what's the dynamic, who's doing what. You're
Yeah.
really just kind of playing these little games for the 4 hours that you're
Right.
out there, which is, and it happens at all levels of cycling. It's
does.
just that it's more prevalent when you're kind of at the front when it matters, whether or not you win,
Yeah.
Courtney, do you do a lot of group rides?
I have a couple favorites that I do, and
Yeah.
otherwise I'm a solo rider.
Yeah.
So
Do,
Monday night gravel, my local bike shop puts on they have anywhere from 50 to 80 people that show up to this thing.
yeah.
It's awesome Monday nights,
Do,
and I practice there.
Yeah,
Good.
that's what I was going to ask. Do they tend to turn into? Do you have a few like? I'm sure it's the same loop that you guys probably do week in and week out, and I'm sure there are certain points on that loop where people like want to test out their skills against each other and positioning, and somebody wants to do a sprint. Like is that kind of? I assume that kind of stuff happens, right? So
Yeah. He switches up the course. There's like one of four courses and
yeah,
or routes, and there's a front group that I love to ride with and try to stick with some nights, and it's really fun. Yeah, so there's people that go out hard and mash it for 2 hours,
yeah,
and and then talk about
yeah,
how they did, and afterwards it's fun. But
sure,
then there's the slow rollers, and it's a great inclusive group. But yeah,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
I've had a
And
lot of practice during those nights.
that's where I was going. It just seems like that, like if people are looking for ways to kind of learn like how to observe and how to kind of read riders, like group rides are a great way to do it because it's
Yep.
inevitable. Every group ride will turn into a race at some point. Like it's just, I mean,
Yep.
most of them.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah,
So true.
yeah,
And just getting comfortable being close on somebody's wheel
somebody's
too,
wheel.
and learning drafting and what an echelon is and all this
Yeah.
stuff that you know.
Well, I'm just really glad you learned that skill in time for open range and you were able to hang on to Travis's wheel for a little bit because I'm usually it's me that's there and I know
Yeah.
what that's like and it's like riding behind a barn door. It's so perfect.
Yeah.
It's just
Nice.
amazing.
Yeah.
I was
I
looking
hear
at
it's
some of my
nice.
power.
Everybody-
I was looking at some of my power data, and I broke a lot of my personal records at
Yeah.
that race. Power.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Pony Express is going to be a lot of fun to see how that all plays out for sure. I'm with you. I hope everyone is healthy for that event and it turns into a all out, flat out bike race and
Yep.
I mean, it's been so much fun to watch the whole series and the women's standings unfold over the course of the year. It's been dramatic in a good way, like not like an artificial drama. It's been like legitimate drama.
Yeah,
on the
you
course.
guys are all. It's great because you guys are all talking to each other off the bike. There's no like, oh, you had such a great day, and like, oh, you did good too, and like it's just it's the same with bike race, like on the bike we're racing, but off the bike where it's like, it's totally fine. So I just, and the fact that we've gotten lucky enough to be in some of the groups where you guys are in is even more amazing. Yeah. So it's really great seeing you guys just
it's been
get
cool.
after it. So
yeah, it's been cool.
Well,
so Pony Express, one last question. Are you, do you prefer the longer distance, or are you 100 and under kind of racer?
Why would I tell that? Why would I actually answer?
Good. So
I think my competitors know that answer, but
yeah.
I like 70-ish.
Yeah. I think you really.
I out of 200, if that tells you anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, you definitely have like basically just shown some really great fitness on these, less than 100-mile routes, and I know you probably like made some adjustments with your coach and stuff after Open Range, which was the other more than 100-mile race in the series. So, and I think looking forward to Pony Express, I think that you guys, again, you've all had a whole season worth of racing, and now the tactics are going to come out. So I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm definitely have the endurance there and the volume there, and my fitness is probably better than it's ever been right now. So I'm just gonna kind of keep going on that trajectory a little bit, and hopefully the 120 serves me well.
Right.
We shall see.
Hopefully there's a tailwind in some part of it.
Boy, yes. So September is still pretty steamy.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Your favorite part of the show now. We're going to do some rapid fire.
Yeah. So ChatGPT never fails. Well, it occasionally gives us a few duds. And we have to filter through those. But this week should be a little bit of fun. So I asked ChatGPT to come up with some fun and edgy questions to ask the women's points leader of the Great Plains Gravel Cup.
Okay.
All right. And so it's edgy, right? So ChatGPT. This isn't us asking. This is ChatGPT wants to know. So what's the best mid-race trash talk you've ever heard or delivered?
Nice.
You don't have to say who. You can just be honest.
Oh gosh, mid-race?
Yeah, mid-race.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Trash talk. Ladies
I don't buy that for a second. I don't believe that.
Nope. Yeah, I doubt it.
It could be a trash talk with the look from the eyes. I don't care what it is.
The thing I always do is, like, when I'm passing Danny on a hill and I think he's going too slow, I'll just reach down, grab my bottle, and take a drink. Like, it's not hard.
I don't know if I really have an answer for that one.
Oh, that's all right. We're gonna have to come up with a penalty for passing.
Yep.
So in the spirit of what Travis just said, because he must have been reading the questions, have you ever passed someone when pretending not to breathe hard?
Yeah. What's your poker face like? Are you just smile and go, "Oh, you're doing a great job," and then you just keep pedaling?
Great ride. Nice ride.
Nice ride. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's good. Oh yeah. So are you going to do that at Pony Express?
I mean, I've done that. Was that one of the rapid fire questions?
Yeah. No, I asked that one.
I've absolutely done that.
Yeah, of course.
Especially running, actually. Right. But this isn't a running podcast, I guess.
No, I would take the running answer.
Yeah, the running. I've been passed by people like you. They're like, "Oh, you look strong." I'm like, "No, I don't.
No, I don't.
I look like I'm dying out here. Like I have
terrible.
seen myself run.
I've seen pictures. I know
I've
how
seen
bad it
pictures,
looks.
and I'm like, "Who is that? That guy looks like. Oh my gosh, that's me."
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why I don't
really
post any
hate
pictures
running.
of me running. Yeah.
Yeah, I love hate it, basically. me and running are on a break right now.
Right. So, all right, Courtney, you ready for this one? If your bike had a name, what would it be, and would it trash talk too?
Well, I mean, my bike has a name.
Oh, good. What's the name of your bike?
Ruth.
Ruth. Okay.
Ruth's name is Ruth. After one of my heroes. Here, let me just show you. Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yeah.
And she she doesn't trash talk, but she sure did do a lot of dissenting.
Yeah.
Which is why
I
love
have
her.
read some of her dissents, and they are quick-witted and very. You know, if you read between the lines, you're like, man, that's a solid burn right there.
Yeah.
That's
So
good.
she was a very smart woman who trash talked in her own way. So in her smart ways.
I think we're starting to figure out how Courtney trash talks
how
now.
Courtney trash talks. Yeah.
All right. True or false? True or false? You don't just ride the course; you weaponize it.
What are these questions?
I know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fair point. I mean, I look at Rock Ridge and I just saw how fast you went by us. I'm like, this is definitely Courtney's course.
Yeah.
I'd say it's true.
Yeah.
Well,
I think you've got. I have not seen your metrics, so I'm just guessing here, but just based on riding around you enough, my guess is your power profile allows you to weaponize punchy courses.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, I'm guessing punchy courses are like Travis, when he and I race and there's a punchy course, it's like, yeah, get ready, Travis. It's gonna be a long day
for me.
but if it's a flatter course or with some kind of gradual climbs in it, yeah, I'm done. Like I don't have a chance.
Yeah, I can do punchy. Gravel Worlds is actually a pretty good course for me too. Mid South, the gradual ones, but yeah.
Yep.
Weaponized, true.
Yeah.
All right, couple more here. This is a good one. Name a rider in the series who pushes you in a good way.
A rider in the series who pushes me in a good way. Boy, there's lots of them. I mean, the one who I'm trying to snag that yellow jersey from, Hannah.
Yeah. I gotta say, we had Hannah on, and she's super strong, and she got into cycling because she commuted, right? And and like she was a commuter. I'm just like, no wonder you're so strong.
Yeah.
Like, commuters are
Where did you commute? Like 3 states over?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hannah's awesome. She's super strong for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and I would think. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
No. It's good.
Yeah. No.
Let's see here.
Well, I just, I'm thinking about women on bikes, and I would think that she would appreciate that response too, because I think as women we want to see more ladies out there wanting to compete and wanting to get on the bike and wanting to feel encouraged by other women, and I think that's what I've loved about this cup so much is that. I mean, I was out there racing with 4 women at Rockridge Gravel. It was awesome. Mm-hmm. I mean, we were just together and that was great. And, there's more and more people out there competing. And anyway, she's just an encouraging competitor. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
All right. Two more. Where'd it go? Okay. Finish the line. If you're trying to beat me, you better be ready to blank.
I don't know, eat my dust. I don't know.
Nice.
Love it.
That's good. I was not expecting that answer.
That's great.
That is a good one. Nice. And the last one here.
I can get feisty, I guess.
Yeah. Right? Trash talk. We don't trash talk.
We don't trash talk.
Yeah,
We just trash talk.
Yeah, okay. All right, gravel racing in 3 words. Go. Dun, dun, dun.
Intense, fun, and dirty. Dirty.
Yeah, got it.
See, you thought that the rapid fire was easy. Travis just makes it look easy.
I make it look easy. It's hard. It's hard. I gotta get these right off the dome piece. Yeah, it comes off quick.
My gosh, I love it.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you again, Courtney, so much for coming on and joining us today. And and again, thank you again for being a super fan and always coming up and talk to us and sharing your story. And it's been a pleasure riding with you and just following your trajectory through this whole cup. So, but anything?
Sure thing. Thanks
is there
for having
anything
me on.
you? Yep. Is there anything you want to say or promote for? Again, if you're in Wichita, go to Bicycler Peddlers.
I was
bike
just getting
shop.
ready to say I saw the shirt. I was going to call it out if you didn't.
Tyler's the owner there. He's super great. They have a great Monday night gravel ride. Courtney's there. You can try to beat her,
but she'll trash talk you. I don't know.
She'll trash talk you the whole time. But yeah, is there anything else that you would like to say, Courtney?
No, but good job to you two, by the way. You guys are crushing it out there as well for the cup. So it's been fun to follow along your progress too. So.
Yeah, we try to have a little fun with it.
Yeah, we're mostly having fun. I'm mostly singing songs and telling stories and doing finger guns at the photographers.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
Yeah. I noticed a few of those this season. That's good.
All right. Well, thank you again for coming on, and we'll see you out there.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening to this episode. Please, if you like what we are doing here, leave a like, rate us, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. It really helps us grow and finds us more SufferSooner squad mates. And remember, when the finish line feels impossibly far away, we don't give up, we push harder, we dig deeper, and we find solace in the knowledge that our suffering is temporary and our resilience is forever.